Hello dreamers, and welcome to another assembly video for our freebie here. We've got a cute little gingerbread man box. It's very simple to put together, very cute. So let's begin by putting together our basic structure here. And what you want to do is you want to take these two pieces, you want to fold everything at the score marks just to get it all nice and prepped. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect these two pieces to make one large piece. And I'm going to get enough glue on that tab there, and then I'm going to take and run that glue out to the edge with my fingertip. Okay, and then we're going to take and, while these are flat, just get them aligned and focus on the little score marks here, these horizontal ones, to make sure that it's nice and aligned. Give it a few seconds to set, and then what you can do is fold it onto itself to ensure that you've got the proper alignment. Okay, this little round area here should match up perfectly, so you can kind of scooch it down a little bit just to make sure that you've got it nice and aligned. And these tabs here should be nice and flush as well. That's how you know that you've got it perfect. Okay, so what we can do while it's still flat, we've got this tab here, put a nice little line of glue in the center, a thin line towards the edge that again we're going to take and flatten out and smooth out, and then you can just literally lay it down onto itself to connect it to the other side. I got a little bit of ink on there. Okay, so you see how that works. I just connected it that way. Okay. So that is our basic structure. Now, before we put the bottom on, we can actually go ahead and, since it's easier to work on things while they're flat, put our flat elements down. Okay, we've got this thing here, and this is for a little sentiment or for a stamp. We're going to take the white piece and glue it onto the red piece. The red piece is going to create a nice little border for us. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a really thin line of glue on this because I don't want it to warp or show through. So be very sparse with that, and then just go ahead and center this on the red piece as best as you can to create a nice even border all the way around this piece. And just push down, hold that in place until it dries. And one thing that I didn't do very well was get glue out to the edges there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, put it on a scrap piece of paper. You can use a spatula. I think it's handy to have a couple spatulas, one for pulling your projects off your paper and one to kind of take some glue and apply it to areas that you may have missed. I use razor blades because they're even thinner than spatulas, but if you don't have one around, you can just use your spatula. Okay, so then we're going to take this piece here and we're going to glue that to the back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, again, very sparsely add some glue to the back of this piece. Try to get it out to the edge as best as you can. And we're going to glue that long way so that it's taller than wide. And just going to center that right on the back there. And again, if you want to write something or stamp something, now would be the time to do that while it's still flat. Just make your job a lot easier. Okay, now we can flip this over and we can put together our little gingerbread man. Okay, he's made of two pieces. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the back of this brown piece, and we're going to glue it to the black piece. Gotta kind of move a little quick. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies here that we have to cover with our glue. Just like that. And put him right on top there. The outer part of his body should match up perfectly, so the alignment should be pretty straightforward. If you have any excess glue, just wipe it off and just push that down. Hold that in place for just a moment while it sets. And on this piece here, there are there's two little score lines here and then one at the bottom here. And that is just to help you with the precise alignment of this piece. You want to kind of get it in between all of those little cuts, and that's how you know that you've got him aligned perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and put glue on the back of our little gingerbread man. Okay. And again, using those little guides, I want to make sure that we get that right in the correct location, and that will create his little swirly little head there too. Okay, and make sure that his arms are going to be sticking off a little bit, and that is by design. So that's how we want it. And now, while we have them flat, in our original little illustration, when Ron actually came up with the design for this, Ron is our art director for Dreaming Tree. He had little rosy cheeks on him. So what I would do to mimic that, or to recreate that, is maybe just grab a little ink pad. And I'm using, for this, I have their alcohol ink applicator felts by Tim Holtz. I've been using those for all my inking here, and I'm going to grab a sheet of cardstock just to use a scratch piece. You don't want to waste cardstock. What I'm doing is I'm going to rub a little bit of this off so that I don't get too much. I just want to kind of dab. I just want to kind of give him some rosy little cheeks there. So I'm going to try to do that. And actually, I think it's pretty important that I get this ink out to the tip here. I need to be pretty precise with this, otherwise we're going to create a huge mess, which we don't want. So I'm just kind of figuring out the pressure on this. Just real subtle. He's got little rosy cheeks. There you go. That was about it. Okay, so now that's pretty much it for the flat portion of this. Okay, so we can go ahead and put the bottom on, and the way we're going to do that is we have these two pieces here. One has a little L cut into it, one does not. The one that does not is going to be your bottom piece. Now, since this is going to be sort of front facing, I would start with this tab here, because this is going to be the easiest part to get accurate. Okay, so I'm going to, again, just take my glue and just smear it out there just to get a nice even distribution of glue all the way out to the edge. And then you're going to take your bottom piece and get that nice and aligned, nice and centered. Okay, you want to just barely see those little score marks and give it a few seconds to set, and then you can flip it over and push down from the inside to really get that to hold. Okay. And then you can go ahead and put glue on the remaining 3 tabs and close this piece up. So I went a little crazy there on the glue. Kind of had a long day today. And I'm not as fresh as I usually am, but this is a pretty easy project. So, and these are great for like little classrooms, or if you have like a little gift that you want to give someone for Christmas. This could be little favor boxes for a little Christmas party. Actually, they're little bags. Okay, so I'm just taking the bottom and just putting it down now onto those 3 tabs, the 3 remaining tabs. You want to kind of scooch it around. Make sure that you've got it nice and centered. Okay. And you can put it down on your surface. If you've got like a little dowel or something, you can kind of push down on the dowel from inside. Okay, and that looks great. And next we're going to put a little bit of glue on the tabs on the inside. And we're going to take this other rectangular piece with the little L on it, and we're going to pop that right inside. Okay. And now we have a little handle. Okay, and we want to go ahead and train this because it comes out flat. I'm grabbing my 3/8 inch dowel, And I am just gonna run it across my dowel with my finger behind the dowel, like that, to give it like a natural bend. If you try to bend it like this without scoring it, or I'm sorry, training it, you will end up creasing it. Okay, so go ahead and put a little bit of glue just below the little score mark on one side. And we're going to glue that to the inside of this part here, trying to make sure that you get it nice and centered. Okay, just kind of squeeze that between your two fingers. Make sure that you've got it nice and aligned vertically so that it goes up perfectly. Okay, just hold that until it sets. And then we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. We'll put a little bow on him, and you'll be all done here. So let us get that right in there. Make sure you've got it nice and vertical. Just push and squeeze until that is set. Had a little bit of glue come out of there. And actually, while we're here, let's put our bow together first. Okay, so let's let that dry for a second. Here is our bow. I also took this and just kind of trained it. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little tiny dot of glue right there. We're going to fold that in and just hold that until it sets, just like that. Okay, then we're going to put another dot of glue in the same spot and bring the next piece in. And there's a little bit of glitter on here, so depending on how, I don't know, if you're using glitter, you might not be. You might just be using green cardstock, which is fine. Okay, so we've got that. This little piece here is going to go behind it, like that. So we need another little dot of glue here. And actually, before we do that, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and put glue on both sides here and grab this little strip. I'm going to wrap this strip around our bow in the center just to kind of clean that up. And just push and hold that in place until it sets. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here to close that up. Okay, and then we've got the bottom part of the bow. I'm going to adhere that to the back. I'm just taking it and gluing it on like this. Just going to push that and hold that in place. This paper is really porous and very soft, so it's going to grip and dry pretty quickly. Okay, so there's our little bow, and that's going to go just below his mouth. But before I do that, let me bring this over here. Let me figure out where I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that probably about here. Okay, but I want to give him some buttons first. We got these cool little enamel dots, and let's see here. I kind of like the smaller ones. Yeah, well, actually, he needs a nose. So let's do this. Let's grab this for his nose and see what that looks like. That's cute. Give him a nice little nose, and then to take the other two enamel dots that I have here and use those as buttons. And I'm just gonna pop one right here, and then I'm gonna pop another one just right here. Okay, and take our glue, and we're gonna glue his tie on right about there. Just push and hold that down for a second. Let it dry. Okay, and then I think we're just gonna finish this off by lining the handle with some rhinestones just to kind of pretty it up. I've got these nice pink rhinestones here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my pick-me-up tool, which I have here, okay, and that's gonna help me grab the rhinestones. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right in the center here, And I'm going to put a little dot of glue right on the center point, just real tiny, just like that. And then pop my rhinestone right on there. And actually, that was a little too much glue, so before I pop that on there and it smears out, I'm going to remove some of that. I don't like how much I had on there. Okay, and then we just pop that right on. Sometimes the sticky stuff stays on my rhinestones, which I don't like, but it happens. Pretty rare that it happens. So there's the rhinestone, and I'm just gonna kind of leave a little bit of a gap when I put the next one down. I'll probably, well, you can kind of use these little scallops here to help you with the alignment. So the first one's like dead center on one of the scallops. So, or where the two scallops meet. So I'm gonna skip one and do the next one there. There we go. Grab the next one and just pop it in place. There we go. I'm gonna just continue that down the row until our cute little bag is all done.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love,